Okay, so let's get right into it. Today, we are breaking down a really fascinating report from Bob Slovic over at the Colorado-based research firm Virtualization Options LLC. And what it argues is pretty bold, that education is standing at its most important crossroads since, well, the printing press, and it's all thanks to a powerful new partnership.
But, before we can even talk about the future, we have to get real about the present. The report kicks off by highlighting a genuine crisis of burnout. A staggering 68% of our teachers feel completely overwhelmed. Why? Because they're just buried in paperwork and admin tasks, and that's pulling them away from what they're actually there to do, teach our kids. This is the very real human cost of the system we have right now.
Now hold that thought and look at this. You contrast that human problem with this number. The AI and education market is just set for an absolute explosion in growth, projected to rocket past $112 billion. So you see, this isn't just some passing trend, it's a tidal wave of technology, and it's heading straight for the classroom. The real question is, how do we actually harness it for good?
To figure that out, we're going to walk through the report's key findings. We'll start with why we're at a crossroads, then explore this AI-human partnership idea. We'll see what personalized learning actually looks like, check out the real-world proof and the ethical hurdles, and then finally, we'll look to the future.
So let's start right there, with education at a crossroads. The report really pins the problem on something we all know well, the old industrial-era one-size-fits-all model of school.
I mean, think about it, right? We put 30 kids in a room and expect every single one of them to learn the same thing in the same way at the exact same pace. It just doesn't work. It holds back students who might learn a little differently, and like we just saw, it puts this impossible load on teachers. The whole system is just cracking under the strain.
And that brings us to the core idea in the Virtualization Options report, the AI and human partnership. Now let me be super clear about this because it's the most important point. This is not, I repeat, not about replacing teachers. It's about augmenting them, giving them superpowers.
This slide just lays it out so perfectly. You see how it's a perfect match? On one side, AI brings the stuff it's amazing at, crunching massive amounts of data, personalizing lessons for millions of students at once, and automating all that boring routine stuff. But on the other side, humans bring what is totally irreplaceable: empathy, mentorship, creativity, and real social connection. One side handles the science, the other handles the art.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. This is one of the biggest immediate wins. The report found that when AI takes over tasks like grading, and you can see that's a huge use case, teachers get back between 20 and 40% of their time. That's hours, every single week, that can be shifted away from a stack of papers and toward a one-on-one conversation with a student who needs it.
Okay, so our teachers are freed up. They've got more time. So how does this partnership actually deliver on the ultimate goal? Well, it makes a truly personalized education possible for every single student. This is where the theory gets really practical.
It all works in this kind of four-step loop. First, the AI assesses a student's strengths and weaknesses. Then, step 2, it adapts the curriculum just for them. Step 3, it builds a learning path that changes in real time as the student learns. And step 4, this is the magic, it flags insights for the human teacher so they know exactly where to step in with support and encouragement.
And hey, this isn't some far-off dream. It's already out there. The report points to platforms that don't just check if an answer is right or wrong, but actually analyze how the student is thinking to get to that answer. Can you imagine? Other tools it mentioned can spot learning gaps weeks earlier than a traditional test ever could. This is tech that is designed to truly understand the learner.
Okay, but with any powerful new tool like this, we have to be honest, right? We need to look at the proof that it works, but we also have to stare the challenges and the ethical questions right in the face. And the report does a great job of that.
Let's start with the proof. The report highlights a single AI platform that is already serving 24 million students. Let that number sink in for a second. 24 million. That is not some small pilot program. That is massive, global scale. And it shows that this hybrid model isn't just possible, it's already working.
Here's another amazing example from the report. It's an AI tutor that has a really special approach. See, it never just gives a student the answer. Instead, it uses what's called Socratic questioning. It asks these guiding questions that help the student figure out the solution on their own. It's an AI literally designed to build critical thinking skills.
And you don't have to just take my word for it.
The report shares these really powerful testimonials that show the impact this has on families. Here's what one parent said. It's like having a brilliant tutor that encourages kids to think instead of just giving them the answers. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Fostering real understanding.
Now for those hurdles, and let's talk about a big one, bias. The report is very clear that bias mitigation is absolutely critical. What that means is we have to proactively make these systems fair. And you do that with transparent algorithms, with incredibly diverse training data, and, this is key, with constant human oversight. You can't just set it and forget it.
And what about privacy? This, and I can't stress this enough, completely non-negotiable. The whole framework for protecting student data is built on a few core ideas, like only collecting the data you absolutely need, giving parents and students control over their own information, and making sure that data is used for learning and never, ever for things like ads. It's all about building and keeping trust.
Okay, so let's zoom out. What's the end game here? What's the big, long-term vision for this AI-human partnership? What could this new world of learning actually look like?
Well, the report maps out a pretty exciting road ahead. In just the next couple of years, expect to see these conversational tutors everywhere. From there, it'll evolve into super immersive learning with AR and VR. And eventually, we get to a place where fully integrated human-AI teaching teams are just the norm. And as that technology evolves, the role of the teacher evolves with it. They aren't replaced, they are elevated. They get to shed the administrative burden and become what they were always meant to be: facilitators, coaches, and designers of incredible, life-changing learning experiences. They get to focus on the deeply human side of education that no machine can ever touch.
And this is the ultimate promise. A world where your zip code doesn't determine your destiny. A world where a student in the most remote village, as long as they have an internet connection, can get the same quality of personalized education as someone in the biggest city. This is about democratizing opportunity on a truly global scale. So, to wrap it all up, the case made in the Virtualization Options LLC report is a powerful one. This human-AI partnership, it isn't some science fiction future. The tools are already here. The proof is growing every single day. The opportunity is right now. And so the final question it leaves us with is maybe the most important one of all. Are we ready to lead it?